All right, guys. So today's the 21st of November, 2025. Just back the following day, basically, to do another breakdown on gold and NAS. This time I'll actually try to do both gold and NAS too. But I knew that I did NAS yesterday. So let me just go back on NAS, see how it's looking. All right. I believe also the specific markup. I mean, like, look at NAS, by the way. Look, that's crazy. Anyways. So the bias, well, the markup that I did yesterday was around like 9 o'clock. That was this push move here, this strong push move to the upside. But I thought that this was a strong move. But then the market rejected this area here, dumped. Oh shit, dog, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, well, we clearly bearish today, right? But anyways, just let me just go back on what happened yesterday pretty much. 5 minute time frame. All right, so yeah, I was on NAS. I was trading NAS on small accounts. Just like let me not put some bad habits in all of mine. So I wouldn't say exactly what I was doing. It's not something that I regularly do anyway. But this was the trade that was in the analysis yesterday. All right, so you got the 1 to 2, 5 minute entry. All right, so we had a bullish trend, pretty much bearish counter trend. We tracked the bearish momentum, so where it ended, so where the bullish momentum came back into the market. Higher low, higher high, higher low, bullish engulfing, entry, stop loss below the low, 1 to 2. When price hit TPs there. I remember I got getting in on this trade also here and this trade also here. Could dive in, but I want to make the video a little short and kind of go to what we're doing today. So for our time frame, I'm actually going on another chart. Use a clear one. This one should be clear. Oh, there's actually a lot of drawings here. What was I doing on this? Oh wow, I probably used to backtest on these. Yeah, boy, definitely used to backtest with these. So this is an example of how serious the backtesting does go also. All right. So anyways, let me just move to the present. I was gonna delete everything, but good thing I didn't. I mean, now the chart kind of moving a little slow because of how much stuff it happened. I'll try one more. It's supposed to have a clean one. Vantage should be clean. 5 drawings. All right, great. You can use Vantage. I have a little gap to the market, but that's fine. All right, so NAS, we are definitely pushing to the downside on the H4 time frame. Series of lower highs, you just knock them out. We don't even need to really look this far back, honestly. It's kind of like a waste of time. But it's important to give a fair idea of what the thinking that is going behind the scene. All right, so we had a lower. Well, this was a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, retest of the previous high, retest of resistance, price break. Price had a strong push to the downside, breaking below supports, creating new lows, therefore maintaining bearish structure. All right. So now see now we saw low down here. What should we expect? Some sort of retracement. All right, so now we could use this area here as a potential area for reversal. We could draw Fibonacci. I mean, all of these things just to give us just like a general idea of where the reversal might be. Not exactly that it's accurate, but just an idea of it helps formulate a trade idea pretty much. All right, that's pretty much all it does. Anyway, so we have the push to the downside. We have price failing to trade lower, forming an area of support, rejecting. Seeing that price is failing to trade lower, there's a high probability that price will continue trading to the upside, forming a counter trend. So that is what we would be looking for on these time frames. Again, we could just track the bearish push to the downside here. Right. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And then what are we seeing here? A high low. All right, so we have a little bullish counter trend pushing to the upside where we could expect a reversal to take price to the downside. So that's pretty much what we're looking for on now today. We want to see a reversal somewhere up in this area here. See preferably a higher time frame lower high being formed, and we just need to get in on the lower high, and of course a bearish engulfing candle or bearish variation to some degree. We just want to get in on these smaller time frames and get in on these positions for the day. So yeah, I believe that this would be the buys for NAS on the day. We could expect some sells. We could even take some short-term buys into the area. So now we already have a strong bias that this is currently a counter trend and pushing into this areas where we will possibly get the first sign of rejection. Now, bear in mind, price does not need to reverse here. It could reverse up here. It could reverse at another price reversal zone. Again, these things just give us trade ideas. All right, very important. So, I mean, why not? Let me just go down a small time frame, right? 5 minute time frame. We already here. So again, this was the entire bearish push. This is just like a more in detail of what was going on, right? This was the last lower high and the first higher low, which, okay, so if you see in a higher low and a break above resistance, then we have obviously bullish momentum in the market, right? That's kind of how you analyze our shift. So we have price making a series of lower highs, forming bearish structure. Then price started making higher lows, right? Price. So what it means exactly is that price is failing to trade lower. And because price is failing to trade lower, I know I say this a lot, that means there's a higher probability that price is going to trade higher, which is exactly what happened here, right? It's breaking above price, trading above previous highs, trading above previous price, continue pushing to the upside, forming bullish structure. All right, so we're just gonna analyze this bullish structure pretty much. Take note of it and track it to see where it ends and where the bearish momentum is going to start to come back into the market. That is going to look something like this. We're going to keep making higher lows until the area, which is the buys that we could also potentially take, as I was saying. Then you're going to start to see price making lower highs to some degree, breaking below previous support, continuously making lower highs and pushing down. And that is where we're going to start to want to get into the market. All right, so that is pretty much the trade idea for NAS for the day. Would definitely. Well, I would love to come back and video record while I'm trading. Also, again, we will see how that goes. But in the meantime, we're just doing breakdowns for now. So let's go on gold. All right, gold is pretty. I should definitely delete some of these things. 617. Oh my god, empty charts. Pepper stone might be empty. Pretty empty. All right, just making sure I was recording because, All right, so on gold, come down on the daily gas going forward. All right, we pretty. I mean, we kind of people might say we're a little confused, but we definitely bearish. We definitely bearish. We trading lower. We could be potentially bullish here, but let's go down and see what's the scene. All right, so let's just map out structure. First off, we have just mapping out structure. Yeah, clear idea what's going on. Actually, this doesn't even need to be there because this is a push move to the long side. This is a fib retracement, and price is attempting to trade lower. So this is the bearish push that we're going to be analyzing. All right, we have a price coming down here, 61.8 retracement on the fib, on the H4 time frame, by the way. So we could expect TPs down into this area, so we could maintain a bearish bias until price reaches around this area. Again, the bearish bias is just to give us trade ideas when we see opportunities or bearish opportunities in the market. All right, so see now we have the bearish bias in mind on the H4. Let's go down in the smaller time frames now in the 30-minute. We kind of real choppy on gold, but like the price just so close. Like if it enter trade, it have a high chance that they're gonna experience some high drawdowns. So it's better to like get in on smaller time frame entries right now and get the entire push if you could, or the majority. Well, some of the push. The point is not to get the whole move, but it's to capitalize on a move to make money regardless. All right, so we have lower highs being formed here. Let's not get sidetracked. We have lower highs being formed there. More lower highs, more lower highs. All right. Now we could see like price so choppy here though. Like you need to really be like taking it in to see for what is going on. So this was a high that was formed here, and this was the push to downside. So we're analyzing this current move here right now. So price came down here. We have a pretty high retracement, 61.8. We could see the resistance was broken because a higher low was formed, giving us the bullish momentum to form the counter trend, to form the retracement. So the bias really in this, I would expect some bearish moves from the 61.8, but price is kind of looking like it's gonna push up. Honestly, with how choppy gold is right now, I wouldn't even say to have a proper trade idea in the market. I would say to wait for some kind of fundamental to come in and give the market some volatility or some price movement. But then again, because of daylight savings, session open, for example, is now at half past 10. So everything kind of pushed back a little bit right now. But um the bias is bearish for me. We have current bullish price action though. Because of that confusion right there, like because the price so choppy and because like I don't know, I wouldn't really take anything on go right now. It's not really clear, right? But this was like a general idea of how to break down. Again, we have the bearish bias starting from up here, the series of lower highs. Price is still creating lower highs, apart from when it has broken the last lower high, started trading above the last lower high here. All right, so now seeing that happen, we could potentially see price do this, or we could just see price do this. Again, you need to really wait and see what's going on with how the market conditions looking on gold right now. Well, yeah, well, that's like pretty much it there then. We have NAS coming back up. How did it on advantage? We have NAS coming back up to the top of the area here, closer to entry. So we could probably look for entry around 10:30 on NAS. That's surprise probably gonna like push to the rejection area in the meantime, because of course timing in the market is very important with volatility. So around that time, around session open around 10:30, there's gonna be a lot of volatility in the market that is gonna align with the overall bias. Well, this is from my experience. Okay. You're gonna see the session open momentum align with the overall bias. So if you have a bearish market, price would counter trend usually in the slow periods right up to session open, where you would get those small bullish opportunities that you could have taken this morning. And then around the time of session open, you're going to get price slowly transitioning to the bearish side, to the main overall trend. And that session open momentum is going to drive price to the downside. Again, this is all speculation, but we would have to come back and see what price actually does. This is just to help me get a bias in the market, to get trade ideas and see how we're going to enter, make some money. All right, so pretty much that is it for today. Be back tomorrow, hopefully. All right, see you guys. Have a good trading day.